What do you say? What do you think? Like how people who are sort of just starting in industry, let's say like people who want like, yeah, like I wanna be a freelance filmmaker, a freelance,
Oh,
photographer, and yeah, how do you get started, man? Like in this situation, it's
no
tricky,
idea.
eh?
I mean, like, this is tough for everybody.
Hello, everybody. How's it going? I'm your host, Joey Palmroos, and welcome to my podcast, The Joey Palmroos Show. If you are into photography, filmmaking, storytelling, social media, we cover all that and everything in between. This is where I sit down with the world's top creatives to discuss about their artistic journeys. We unpack valuable insights in all things creative to help you live your dreams. And without further ado, let's start this episode.
Okay, so our today's guest is a photographer, a social media specialist. He's a creative producer with a massive Instagram following. He's known for his outdoor photography, and with his work, he takes viewers on these epic journeys to wild remote places around the globe. I've followed his work for years now.
Joonas Linkola, welcome to the podcast, man. Great to have you.
Thank you very much. It's a privilege.
Dude, how's it going? Hopefully I didn't leave anything out in the intro. Right?
That was more than enough. More than enough.
Dude, so what's new, man? How's it going?
All is good. We are guaranteed for the 6th day now.
Okay, dude. I wanna talk about this situation, but I wanna leave it for later. Like, I really want to talk about it. Before that, though, let's start talking a little bit about you. How you got started? How do you get started with photography? You just decided to do that one day. You woke up and you were like, no, this is what I want to do. Like you saw someone doing it. Like what, dude? Tell me.
Everything happened by chance. Basically, my friends invited me on a road trip with them, and I knew very little about photography or social media back in 2015.
Okay.
That was the January or February 2015. We went on a road trip for 2 weeks,
Okay.
and during those long days and short nights, I was totally brainwashed into photography and visual storytelling by some amazing other Instagrammers from Finland.
Dude, where do you get your inspiration, man? Your work is amazing. Like everything you post on social media, it's just like I'm mind blown, man. Like every single time. Like where do you get that inspiration from?
Most of the time it comes from other people because I perceive the world from my own perspective, and I kind of think that it's already a little bit boring. But when I get to know other people and hear their stories and their interests or passions, that's what really inspires me, and also in my own work. In short, listening to others inspires me a lot.
Okay. Do you have like a mentor, like who you got started with, or?
Yeah, plenty of them. Actually, during these past 5 years, I kind of feel that I have had at least 6 or 7 mentors. Yeah, you also know them, but probably the most influential person career-wise has been my little brother Konsta Linkola, who was already doing professional photography before me. And then another one who I'm with right now, actually in this cabin, is Daniel Taipale, who actually was one of those guys who invited me on the road trip in 2015.
Okay. So you're still on that trip, sorta, huh?
We never came back.
Right.
It's a lockdown now.
It's a lockdown. We'll go to that later. Don't worry about that. We'll go to that later. So did about the process though, do you use reference shots? Like how does that work for you?
It depends so much if I'm working on a professional project or on a personal project. For almost all professional projects, I use reference shots because it's the easiest way to communicate the idea with the client or with other participants before the actual production has been done. But if it's a personal project, no, then I'm just probably improvising all the time. I feel like I'm an improviser pretty much through my life.
Yeah, so you're sort of like me then, I'd say. Like, I mean, depending on a project, obviously. But like, let's say if there's if it's I don't know, like, it's just you who's like involved in the project and possibly like just a product or one model or something. And then there's not like 10 other people, so you're not really like accountable for like this big, this big production crew, right? So I find it like maybe then it's just better sort of just roam a little bit, or also with your thoughts and just kind of like, get closer to what you want to do, like through that, just like try out different things and not necessarily have like a massive plan written down already. Because I feel like every single time when I've had those, things go south like really fast, and all the best ideas eventually come out from just like behind a corner.
For me, using reference shots has been connected to the learning process of photography, because I feel that I was better in copying the other ideas only to learn to, for example, how to make compositions or how to use different settings in the camera. I needed some references to learn those techniques. But after, for example, now it's not necessary. Now the reference shots or mood boards are for communication.
First of all, you got amazing photos. I already said that, but I can't highlight that enough. You got amazing photos. You love to shoot a lot of like sceneries, different sceneries, and normally you place a person or someone in your photos. Like
most of the time, the people in my pictures, they mean something to me. So the pictures are usually done within a group or within a team, on the road or on an adventure with important people, and including important people in my own work has a great significance for me as a photographer. So I get really like excited if I have the opportunity to have an important person in my own work, because then I can share it to the person as well. Like, do you remember this memory? Or I love capturing and documenting my relatives and friends' lives in general.
Yeah, nature is a big part of your photos. So where did that aspect come from?
For sure, from my parents. Like they were taking us kids out since our early childhood. So since I was the kid, I've already been in the nature and do some basic trekking or camping, cross-country skiing and backcountry skiing with my parents. Taking the camera along basically meant that I just had to carry 2 or 3 kilos more.
I see you most of the time being around Norway, somewhere in Norway. Tell us about Norway, man. Is that like your favorite place to be, Norway? It's like Lofoten area. Like, what's that about?
Northern Norway is fantastic area to explore, because it's not the easiest place to be outdoors. You have to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations, and you have to really face the weather conditions as they come, as they are.
And the crazy thing is, like, you sleep in a tent. You don't go to a comfy hotel like I do. Like, I love going to a Lofoten, same as you, man. But like, I normally go to. You do both, but still, most of the time, I see you tenting out somewhere on top of a mountain or something. I did that. I tried doing that once. That was actually my first time going there. My girlfriend said, like, oh, she was like, where are you staying? Which hotel? And I was like, no, actually, like, we're tenting out. We're sleeping on top of this mountain. And she was like, oh, like, baby, you're not going to be able, seriously? And I was like, what are you talking about? Joonas is doing it. Like, why can't I do it? But dude, doing that is fucking hardcore though. Well, not hardcore, but like, it's cold, it's damp. Like, it's not really comfortable, is it?
No.
So why do you do it though? I mean, I know that you love being there, but like
it's part of the culture, and maybe I don't want to go the easiest way anyway.
I love that. Short answer. Not the easiest route. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right?
Most likely.
I'm super curious about one thing. One thing. How do you stay on the road all the time? It's not like, I mean, you're a freelancer, like, but you don't do the normal. I mean, you still do this somewhat, but like you don't just do like commercial based things where you do a commercial and you give it out to the client and that's that, and then an agent calls you and then you proceed. I'm always like, oh, okay. When I open my Instagram and I see your profile, like you posted a new photo maybe or something, and you're somewhere Arctic or whatever again, and I'm like, how does he do that? He's there. He goes again, man. Like, you've been around, dude. Like, tell me about like, what do you do? Like, what's your job, dude? Like, I know like you hate the word influencer, whereas I do.
Yeah. Well, the key here is long partnerships with clients, like having clients who trust in my vision and they stay my clients for many years enables me to also build a lifestyle which I want. If I currently I'm changing my lifestyle quite a lot, so I'm coming back to town, and that's another story.
Yeah, but, you haven't been back. You haven't been back for that 5 years. You left 2015, like you said.
Yeah. But of course, you also need many friends who are doing also the same, because friends are supporting.
So it's with the same crowd, like who you started with, or somewhat?
Not all the time, but some of them are still here, and some new faces. Mostly new faces because the network has been growing so rapidly. Okay,
dude. Now we can get to the current situation. It is a shitty situation we're in right now.
As a creative entrepreneur, it's probably the most challenging situation ever.
And especially, dude, I mean, because you travel for work, sorta. You're on the road, dude. You just came back. You're in north of Finland right now, right? You're in Lapland.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Right? Yeah. Dude, I remember calling you a week ago. I was like,
1 week
telling
ago.
you that. Yeah, I was telling you like we were thinking of. Well, we had plans to come to Lofoten, and you said you were gonna be there. I was like, sick. Now we're get to do stuff, and this whole Corona situation, or COVID-19 as they call it, was spreading from Asia. It had just landed to Europe. And I was like, okay, I mean, if they close the borders, I don't mind being locked away in Lofoten. I mean, it's a pretty place to be, and there's not too many people. So we can go on hikes and stuff like that. But then on the day I called you, you were like, dude, you better hurry up because they're about to like close the borders, right?
That's right.
And I was counting the hours, like how long would it take me to drive from Helsinki to the border of Finland and Sweden, then from there to border of Sweden and Norway. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to make it. I called you the next day saying, no, you actually messaged me the next day. We're in a lockdown, like Norway's locked. I was like, damn it, like I didn't make it. Like I was so envious. Which was funny was that like 2 days after, you actually messaged me saying like Norwegian government is kicking you out as well. What was that about?
So we got the message from Norwegian authorities that if you don't have the citizenship or permanent working place there, then go back home. And
you just got there as well. I remember. Oh, that must have...
we were there only 4 days. Also planned to be for probably 1 week at least, but life happened.
Life happened, man. And so where are you now? You're in Pallas?
The other option would have been to drive all the way back to Helsinki, but as we were working still and we didn't know that the regulations for traveling are getting more and more strict, we decided to stay in Pallas area.
So you're in a cabin there?
But the current situation is that it would be 1,000 kilometer drive back home, and traveling is strictly forbidden right now. So I consulted 2 doctors who told us that if we are safe here and if we don't have any interactions with other people, we should definitely stay here as long as our food supplies are okay. But then, of course, at some point, it's inevitable that we also drive back.
So you said it's already somewhat affecting your work. I mean, this is a shitty situation wherein, especially if you're a creative freelancer, like you and me. And dude, how's your current situation? Is it already affecting it, or?
All my projects during the next month were postponed by 1 month, but I am in a very lucky situation because I have still projects and clients are not leaving me.
Yeah.
For example, for some creative entrepreneur friends, some or most of the clients already left. Like they just decided not to do the projects.
Yeah.
I was in a very fortunate situation that my all work was just postponed.
Yeah, that happened to me too. Like there are like few things that are now postponed. I think the situation is all about like if you have like a good relationship with the people that you're working with. If there's like a long relationship of work that you've already done with a specific brand or whatever. But there are a lot of like event photographers or filmmakers who are now going, oh shit, like I was going to do like 20 weddings this summer, or I was going to do all these, music events.
Super hard. And nothing.
They got nothing right now. The situation is not easy, man. With the situation being shitty for all freelancers, creative freelancers, there are still ways that you could potentially continue doing this even like during the lockdown, right?
Yeah, there are many ways. I actually already started 2 different new projects with my little brother
in
order to keep the work going.
Okay. Awesome, man. Like I was just speaking with my brother as well, and I said like, you can still offer, film editing. You can have like a maybe small studio set up at home that you can do like 1-person shoots or whatever, something easy. If you got like a massive following or smaller following on Instagram or YouTube, you can do branded content. There's still like a lot of ways that, you can still continue work.
Yeah, for example, go online with your own skills. Now is a good time to script tutorials. And for example, in case you have a drone and hundreds of gigabytes of drone footage, just put them on the stock. Like
stock footage, man, that's good. I didn't even think about the stock footage yet. I haven't really thought about it that much, like what there could be. But stock footage, man. Have you started doing that?
I've done drone stock footage for 1.5 years now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know it. Okay. How is that? How is it working with stock footage?
Well, it's not big, but I mean,
it's something.
Now it's something every month.
Yeah.
And this is a situation where if people don't have work, then they can kind of reorganize their workflow or just go through their archives and look for the best pictures. And when the day comes, set up a print shop or something. Now it's a good time for going through the archives.
What do you say? What do you think? Like how people who are sort of just starting in industry, let's say like people who want like, I want to be a freelance filmmaker or a freelance, photographer. And you don't really have like, your resume is like super low as well. And like, how do you get started, man? Like in this situation?
No idea. I mean, like learning something that others don't know how to do. This is tough for everybody. If the clients cancel projects, that's probably the worst case scenario for any entrepreneur. Like my only advice is hang on to your clients and just postpone all the projects if you don't lose the clients, because that's the end of your story. You start from zero then.
Yeah. And there's like a million creative ways that you can start building your resume at home as well. Like, creating new stuff, even though it's just in your living room or balcony or whatever, you can still be creative around that and just like try out new things and just like get better with everything, especially like knowing your gear and, whatever. Okay, man. But, dude, I'm gonna let you go back drinking your Corona and enjoying your cabin life up there in the north. Still sort of
sauna time.
No, you should not say that, man. We don't have a sauna here. Like, we're
really,
dude. We were gonna go to this cabin on Monday. We had to cancel because like they don't want people to travel like within the country anymore. So we had to cancel that as well. So that was my last chance to go to sauna. That was my freaking last chance, man. Why did you tell me that you guys have a sauna up there? Jesus. Anyways. Okay, folks. So you can find Joonas on Instagram at Joonas Linkola. And if you're not following him by now, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you. Go give him a follow now. So you can go through his amazing work. Just keep scrolling down. There's a lot of photos there. Amazing photos, man. Especially in times like this. It's nice to like being able to see like what the world actually looks like. I don't know how long this whole lockdown is going to take. Hopefully not too long. Okay. Thanks for the interview, dude. Wanting to pick your brain for a long time now. This was great, man.
It was great. Thank you very much, Joey.
Thanks. I'll talk to you later,
bro. Yeah. Catch you later. Take care.
Do snow angels for me as well.
Will do.
Okay. Bye, bro. Bye.
Bye-bye.
And that's a wrap for this episode. Make sure to stay tuned for the next one. We got new interesting episodes coming out soon. Meanwhile, you can check out my other work. You'll find me at Joey Palmroos in all platforms. For now, I want to thank you for listening. Till next time, thanks. Bye.